Long ago, there was a determined young woman named Aya, sprinting through a decaying, mist-covered city, holding a glowing eclipse shard. Her breath is ragged, and her wide eyes dart as shadows twist unnaturally around her. Suddenly, a deep voice whispers in her ear, "You can't escape what you already are." From the fog emerges Kale, an enigmatic figure cloaked in black. His glowing red eyes pierce through the gloom. He smirks and says, "Run all you want, but the end will always be the same." Aya screams as tendrils of shadow lash toward her. Everything goes black. She awakens in a ruined library, disoriented and clutching the shard. A calm, authoritative voice interrupts her panic. It's Ren, a mysterious scholar. "You're not safe here, Aya. The shard is a beacon for something far worse." Ren explains. The Eclipse Shard is a fragment of the Mirror of Noctis, an ancient artifact that binds the God of Shadows. Whoever controls the shard gains immense power, but loses their soul. Kale, the Shadow Harbinger, was corrupted by the shard and now serves Noctis, seeking the remaining pieces to free the god. Aya learns she's been marked by the shard, granting her shadow manipulation abilities. Ren warns her that the shard is feeding on her emotions, using her doubts and fears to pull her closer to Noctis' influence. Determined to destroy the shard and free herself, Aya sets off with Ren to the Eclipse Spire, the only place capable of severing the shard's connection to her. During a quiet moment, Aya has a vision of her past. She sees herself as a child, trapped in a house with mirrors on every wall. Her younger self cries out to her, begging for help. But the reflection smiles darkly and whispers, "You've always been one of us." Aya jolts awake, questioning whether her memories are real or being twisted by the shard. As Aya and Ren journey deeper into the Shadowlands, they encounter Kale, who taunts Aya with cryptic words. "Ren isn't who you think he is. Ask him about the Spire." Aya confronts Ren, who reluctantly admits he once worked with Kale to retrieve the shard. Ren claims he betrayed Kale to stop Noctis from rising, but his guilt weighs heavily on him. Aya begins to question if Ren is truly on her side or if he's manipulating her for his own agenda. They reach the Eclipse Spire, a massive structure surrounded by an unnatural storm. At its core lies the Mirror of Noctis, shattered into shards. Aya feels an overwhelming pull toward the mirror, and the shard in her hand glows brighter. Kale ambushes them at the spire, revealing another shocking truth. Aya was never just a victim of the shard. She's its original wielder. The reflections she's been seeing are fragments of her true self, locked away when she first tried to harness the mirror's power. Kale, you're not running from the darkness, Aya. You are the darkness. Ren tries to deny it, but Aya begins to remember. Years ago, Aya shattered the Mirror of Noctis to contain its power within herself. Kale and Ren were pawns in her plan, manipulated to keep the fragments hidden until she was ready to reclaim them. Aya embraces her growing power, manipulating the shard to weaken Kale. As she fights him, her memories flood back. Ren's betrayal wasn't accidental. Aya orchestrated it to push Kale into becoming Noctis' harbinger, knowing he would gather the shards for her. The visions of her younger self were planted to guide her consciousness back to the truth. Ren realizes the extent of Aya's deception. "You've been playing us all along. Even now, you're using us to complete the mirror." Aya smiles coldly. "I never needed your help. You were just pieces on the board." In a final act of desperation, Ren and Kale team up to destroy the shard. Ren sacrifices himself to trap Kale in the spire's core, believing he has stopped Aya. As the spire collapses, Aya stands amidst the chaos, holding the fully restored Mirror of Noctis. She gazes into it and sees countless versions of herself, past, present, and future, locked in an eternal loop of power and destruction. "Aya, the cycle begins again, but this time I hold the strings." The screen fades to black as Aya steps into the mirror, merging with her infinite selves. The final shot reveals the ruins of the city, where a new figure emerges, a child holding a glowing shard. The child looks up, and their eyes are Aya's. The loop resets, but Aya is now fully aware and in control, ensuring her reign will never end.